Preaching time. The converted man here. Good morning, afternoon, good night, whatever it is. I don't know. I'm in the mood. I'm in the mood to preach. And instead of doing it into the empty void, why not put it on YouTube? What sense does God make? And I say zero. Looking at, now, I only know the one. I need to start learning about other gods just so I can make fun of them too, because I feel like I've said everything there is to say about the Christian God, the Judeo-Christian God. Man, I'm sick of hearing about this God. I want a different God to talk about. But it's the one I'm most familiar with. It's the one that I know. It's the one that I encounter being spoken about more often than any other gods out there. Perhaps that's just the nature of YouTube or the internet. I don't know. I can't really do much with Allah because I don't speak the language that usually is associated with that. Their arguments are just, hey, our book says stuff, and that's it. They don't really even have developed arguments like the Christians have. It's more just pure assertion with them than anything else, you know? There's little to no sophistication there is what I'm saying, okay? And the rest are quiet for the most part. The rest are just quiet. So I don't hear from the other gods out there. And when I say the other gods, no, it's the people that are talking about God, because you don't ever hear anything from God, because this thing is absolutely silent. What sense does that make? Why is God silent? And various religions have various reasons why God is so utterly quiet. Some say, no. God isn't silent. God is very loud and obvious. Look at the trees. You know, look at this. Look. See? Right now it's raining outside. The sky is all gray. I'm looking out there and I'm seeing the raindrops hit the water. The water's disturbed by the waves. I think it's flowing down rain. I think it's stopping finally. And it's just yucky out there, you know. And I gotta take out the trash. And I blame God for that. Even though there's no God to blame. I blame God for it. What else am I going to blame? There's nothing to blame the weather on in the atheist worldview, which I don't have. There isn't an atheist worldview. There's just atheist. It's just, I don't believe in God. Well, what else do you not believe in? A lot of other things, actually, but I definitely don't believe in God. Well, why not? Because I've tried to make sense of it. I've tried to make sense of it via logic and science and feelings, and it just doesn't make sense. Because you're confronted with this thing that made everything, and then you have to confront that it knows everything, all these ideas about God that you're just told about, because again, there isn't a God to tell you what God is or how God works. It's just people saying things about God, writing things about God. God itself is utterly silent. Why? Well, because there isn't a God to speak. That's why. Easy answer, right? But no. We want to pretend that there's a God. Why? Well, because we want to answer why. And I've seen this more than once. I've just had a text exchange where the person was like, oh, typical atheist, you don't have the answers. Like, what's wrong with not knowing, man? Why do you need certainty? And they're the ones that bring up, you want 100% certainty. No, I just want to I want some amount of certainty. I don't grade it. I don't have a scale, but I'm fairly sure about certain things, and other things I'm not. And I'm on the second story of this apartment complex, and there's a second story within my second story. So technically, that's the fourth story, and I'm on the third story. Below me is the second story, and below that's the first story. But also, it's elevated slightly above the ground. So actually, that's the second story. Then there's a third story, fourth story, fifth. But because you can't occupy that little elevation spot below, does it count as a story? I don't know. Speaking of stories, we love to tell stories, and that's what God is. It's the story of how it works. How does the universe work? How does this world work? How does anything work? Well, it's kind of like us. We can build stuff. We can manipulate stuff. So there's a thing that built all of this, that manipulated all of this, that got all of this here to where it is. Why? Because it was bored. Because it wanted love and attention. Because I don't know, whatever reason you come up with. But you gotta be like, man, this being that you're talking about doesn't care about its creation. And you go, no, well, yeah, I care. No, it doesn't. The suffering, the pointless, meaningless, nonsensical suffering. Oh, boy, God's gonna make it up to you in the end. No, it's not. No, but it must like suffering. It must enjoy suffering. It must be cool. It must be okay with suffering existing. It's like, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, sure, that cat. Okay, the cat had kittens. The mama cat ran off into the road, and all but one of its kittens followed. And when he went, bye-bye, big giant truck took them all out. Oh, yuck. Meanwhile, this one little kitten left alone in his shed, crying for its mother that's never going to come back, scared, alone, in the dark, slowly dehydrating, slowly dying, exposed. Well, actually, it's not exposed to the elements because it's inside a shed, but slowly dehydrated and starving, and it doesn't know what's going on. It's afraid, it's lonely, scared, and it's dying. In the blog I sometimes write in, which I don't do very often, I wrote about this cat, this orange kitten, that to me kind of reinforced that there's no God. This little orange kitten was found in the storage unit. Just there, on its own. Where's its mom? Where's its brothers and sisters? Not there. Don't know what happened to them. I'm extrapolating that they got killed. Who knows what happened to them? But this thing is alone. And if it hadn't been found, it would have died alone. And it would have suffered that entire time. Why? Now, we humans, we saw, well, my brother found it. I wasn't there, but we saw that. We rescued it. We negated its suffering to the best of our abilities. And we, housed it. We fed it. We loved it, sort of, for a little bit. And then we had to give it to the shelter because, we just couldn't keep, couldn't deal with it. Just, too much of a financial burden. Hopefully, it found a loving, caring family. I don't know. But at least it's getting food and water in the shelter, even if it's, not ideal conditions. At least something is being done for it. Why do we care about this little kitten, and God doesn't care. And we're told that God cares. Again, Bible, Christian Bible. God even cares about the little sparrow. Yeah, it cares that it's suffering and dying, but it doesn't do anything about it until what? It dies, and then it takes care of it? Oh, hey, the soul of the sparrow is now with God. Isn't that wonderful? And now it's in paradise. Well, why not just make it in paradise in the first place? Why did it need to know suffering? And some people go, well, if you don't know what suffering is, you don't know what pleasure is. Bullshit. You'd still know what pleasure is. You would know pleasure and the absence of pleasure. But that wouldn't be suffering. It would just be like, I don't know, boredom. I don't know. Boredom, suffering. I don't know. But just, you'd feel just, nothing. You wouldn't feel bad, but you wouldn't feel good. You'd just be there kind of thing. That's a weird emotion to have. It's not even an emotion. It's just like, I'm just here. I'm just being here. I'm not happy. I'm not sad. I'm not anything. I'm just here, And that could be the default state. Or, hell, why not just be in pleasure all the time? Why not? What's wrong with that? Oh, you don't know what pain is? So what? Who cares? You don't know that you're always experiencing pleasure? Well, you would be so pleasurable that you wouldn't care that you didn't know. Why not make everything in that realm of perfection in the first place and make it that it can't ever fail? Well, because see, God had to make it this way because God likes physical stuff for some reason, and then it all messed up because the humans that God also made, they did something that God didn't want them to do, but also they didn't know that they weren't supposed to do that. Oh, and also they were tricked into it, and now God is really mad. Oh yeah, that makes sense. That does not make any sense. No, that's stupid. That's dumb. That's a dumb God. I made everything that's really cool. But also I made a condition where it could all fail. And I don't want you to do it, but if you do it, it's not my fault. I made a video of Minecraft, me playing as God. Put a TNT block down and pressure plate. The villagers who are just walking around randomly, hey, look, it's not my fault if they step on the thing and blow themselves up. Yeah, sure, I put it there, but they didn't have to step on it. But they don't know any better because they're not conscious. They're AI. They're just randomly going places. And heck, I could have put a zombie to scare them away from the TNT, because villagers are scared of zombies, but I didn't do that, but that's not my fault. Free will. Yeah, whatever. No, that doesn't make any sense. God must like suffering. It must like pain. It must enjoy the displeasure of creatures great and small. It must have some happy satisfaction in watching things suffer and eventually die, and then it rewards them. Although some people think that animals don't have spirits or souls or whatever, or they have a spirit but not a soul, so they don't get to go to heaven. So you go, well, what was the point of the suffering then? Well, that wasn't God's fault because it's a result of people sinning, but as if God can't just make it that it's not that way. What was Jesus' point then? Well, he forgives your sins. Okay, but that doesn't fix anything. Now, the Torah is, in a way it's difficult for me to properly deal with the Torah because I know about the New Testament. So I have to kind of ignore the New Testament. I have to go, okay, the Torah just kind of ends. God is mad. God is a mad, crazy, insane character. Yahweh makes everything, sets it up to fail, is upset when it fails, rocks around clueless, like it doesn't know what the hell it's doing, gets mad again, gets frustrated at its own creation, wants to wipe it all out and start again, picks a family to help it do that, doesn't, drowns everybody, and everything else, and then I guess magically repopulates the world, or I don't know. It doesn't make any damn sense, but it doesn't matter because God is magic. It can do whatever it wants. It doesn't have to make any sense. But God is just repeatedly pissed off at people for not doing what it wants the people to do. And God doesn't bother to tell the people what to do half the time. But God's just like, oh, I'm so mad. You're not doing what I want. Also, I gave you free will, but you're not doing what I want. And God's just pissed and mad and angry and bitter and regretful. And Yahweh never redeems itself. It just kind of slowly, as the Torah goes on, Yahweh is less and less relevant. It's in the background more and more. And if you read through it, you go, Yahweh barely appears as a character. It's all about the people and what they're doing. And they'll say God here and there. They'll say Yahweh. Ruth, the book of Ruth, the forgotten book of Ruth, that most people will be like, what the hell with the book? There's a book called Ruth? Yeah, it's short, but it's really important for the Jewish people. Because Ruth is like the head, one of the people that eventually that leads to Abraham or whatever. It's like important to them. The Christians, we don't know about it. We don't care. I say we because I was one of them. I'm not anymore, but stuck in your head. I don't know. Anyways, God in the Torah just kind of fades into the background without any redemption arc. And you're told that eventually there will be somebody that saves everyone and makes everything great. Eventually, in the future, later on, where you can't investigate, Today sucks, but tomorrow's going to be amazing. Well, maybe not tomorrow, but eventually it's going to be really cool. Don't know when, but, just believe that. Okay. That doesn't make sense with a God because the God is so incoherent that it can't possibly make sense. Now, I have to pause. Wait a minute. I'm a man of logic, broadly speaking. I love informal logic. Isn't that a logical fallacy that I'm producing, just saying God doesn't make sense? Just saying, hey, God makes no sense, therefore God doesn't exist. Well, that would be a fallacy. I'm just saying God doesn't make sense. I'm not saying that it doesn't exist because it doesn't make sense. I'm just pointing out that God makes no sense. It also doesn't exist, but that's a separate problem. That's a separate argument. I'm not making that argument per se in this. I'm just complaining that God makes no sense at all. So, no, I'm not doing the fallacy of appeal to ignorance or personal credulity, depending on the phrasing of it. I think it would be appeal to personal credulity. Just because it doesn't make sense doesn't mean it's not. Yeah. Anyways, back on track. What was I saying? All right, so the Torah God, the Torah Yahweh, just kind of fizzles out, and that's it. Then the Christian, here's all these people walking around saying that the end times is coming, and one of them is really good at it. And I think he knows how to do some magic tricks. He knows sleight of hand. He knows how to bullshit. He really does. He knows how to tell stories. He's been paying attention. And he had some wacky-ass parents. He had parents who, I don't know who his parents are. I know we're told that they're Mary and Joseph, but that came later. So we don't know. We don't know anything about this guy, to be honest. But he is an end times preacher. You get that, at least. And I can't help but think about Heaven's Gate. This sad, pathetic group of people that all believed that heaven, the gate to heaven, was this meteorite, asteroid, whatever the bleep it is. I'd have to look it up. But whatever. Doesn't matter. Flying rock in space. And that when it got to a certain point, if they were all dead, they'd go, they wouldn't be dead. They'd actually be traveling to the gate of heaven. And imagine that they are right. Just for a moment. Why not? God told that weird-looking bald dude, you know the guy. I pull up a picture. I'm standing up and yelling about all this, so I don't want to pull up a picture just now. But you know who I'm talking about. He looks weird. He looks crazy. That guy's like, yeah, we all die. We'll go to the gate that leads to heaven. Yeah. What if God told him, hey, this is how it works. I've been waiting all these years to tell you, you crazy looking guy. I've been waiting to tell you how to get to heaven. Here's how to do it. Get everybody that you can. Kill yourselves, and you will be magically teleported to the gate of heaven, and then I will welcome you in. It will be great. And I'm only telling this one small person and this one tiny group of people at this specific date and time. I'm not going to tell the rest of humanity. No, why would I? I'm going to tell you. Cool. Because God makes no sense. It can do it. And you go, well, what about the rest of us? What about those who didn't hear the message? What about those who heard the message but didn't believe? Too bad. Too bad you missed out. You missed your one and only chance. What about people that came before that? Don't worry about it. It's all part of God's mysterious plan. Ooh. Because why not? Why wouldn't God do it that way? God said, here's my one messenger, this crazy bald dude. And if you don't listen to him, that's not my fault. If you don't hear about him, whatever, it's okay. Don't worry about it. But they heard, they listened, they believed, and so they're now in heaven. Those few people that died during that comet thing, they're all in heaven. The rest of us, we just die. We don't get any bonus round. We don't get to know that we were wrong. I don't know what happens to us. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Maybe there'll be another time when the thing comes around again, we can try again. But it doesn't really matter because God has some mysterious, weird, wacky plan for us. God doesn't have to make any sense. But they're right. Imagine if they are right. And we just missed out on the opportunity to get to heaven. And that was God's plan. For real. And you go, well, that doesn't make any damn sense. Yeah, but it doesn't have to because God doesn't make sense. So they get to get into heaven. The rest of us don't. That's it. That's what God wanted for all of creation. And it's like, well, why is it still going? Well, again, don't know, but God has some reason for it. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Those people, they're good to go. The rest of us are screwed. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It makes sense eventually. You can't make sense of it now, but you're not God. How dare you judge God? How dare you demand evidence for God? How dare you demand for signs and wonders? How dare you demand that God speak to you and tell you what's going on? It was all told by God's prophet, the bald, weird-looking guy, whatever his name was. I can't remember. Mooney, no, that's a different guy. Whatever his name was, I don't know. Crazy cult guy. Because that's what Jesus was. Some crazy cult guy. Hey, everyone, world's going to end. Join my cause. Okay. Sounds like a good idea. I'm sick and tired of fishing. I'll follow this guy. Why not? World's going to end. Sounds good to me. My life sucks. Sure, sign me up. Don't worry about washing my hands. I wasn't washing my hands anyways. I don't feel like doing that. That's effort. That's energy. I don't want to do that. Why do I need to do that? This guy said, don't worry about it. He said, give up all my stuff and follow him. He didn't say give it to him, by the way. He just said, get rid of all my stuff. So I did. I was like, yeah. A lot of these other cult leaders, they're like, give it to them. This guy, he's like, nah, man, we're going to be poor. We're going to survive on the charity of others. Well, right? He's actually practicing what he preaches. He hasn't had sex. There's that one gal that has the same name as his own mom. She seems like his girlfriend, but they're not having sex. She told me as we were having sex. But, he's at least practicing what he preaches. Seems like he knows what he's talking about. World's going to end. Now, this guy, my friend here, this dude died before he saw the world end. Well, I don't know why. Sad. These things happen. But again, Jesus, the messenger of God, I think is he the messenger of God? Is he God? I don't know. He's kind of like alluding to that, sort of like, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Don't worry about it because God doesn't make sense. But what this guy's saying, yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. World's about to end. Everything's going to be awesome. Because once the world ends, then we get to this wonderful paradise, and then everything's fine. Then we don't have to worry about pain and suffering and hardship and whatever. Now we get to the magical land where everything is amazing. Wow. Why didn't we start there? Shut up. God doesn't make sense. There's an amazing, wonderful land without pain and suffering? Yes. What's it like? Not like this. Why didn't we just start? Shut up. God doesn't make sense. Now, I encountered a guy. Recently, I've been watching this guy. I'm following him, waiting to pounce, And his videos are just incoherent city, baby. But he said recently about the afterlife is that there's kind of like this life. Like, there's still challenges. It's still difficult. Like, I'm like, is there pain and suffering? Like, what's the point of that afterlife? I'm like, but could you die again? Is there a mega afterlife? For some reason, he didn't answer that question. I don't know how he knows any of this, by the way. But he just knows that the afterlife is kind of like this life in that there's sort of pain or challenges. He doesn't think that going to the bathroom, going poo, is a real problem. Like, he doesn't see that as a downfall. And I'm like, it is. It wastes time and energy. Sure, sometimes it feels good, but sometimes it doesn't feel good. It just depends. Why do I need to do it? Because of biology. But if I'm dead, I don't have any biology anymore, so why would I need to do it there? It doesn't really make any... God doesn't make sense. That's why. Stop asking the questions, you idiot. Just believe whatever I tell you about God, because I can always fix the story's inconsistencies by appealing to the mystery of God and saying, well, it's beyond your human logic and science. How dare you? You ask for evidence of God? You fool! God doesn't have evidence for it. Duh! That's what makes it God, you moron. Duh! You're asking for empirical evidence? I mean, we don't have empirical evidence for everything. And we believe all these things without empirical evidence, so why can't we believe in God without empirical evidence? It makes perfect sense when you don't think about it. What things do we not have empirical evidence for? The past! Well, okay, sure, maybe, kind of. You're right. But we kind of do, sort of. But we kind of don't. All right. But I don't have to believe in the past. Well, what about what you experienced yesterday? What about it? It wasn't a remarkable enough day for me to remember what the hell I did. I remember the parts of my life that are remarkable. The parts of the life that stand out, that are important enough for my brain to remember. And I forget the rest, and I don't even know that I didn't know that stuff because my brain said, we don't need to know that. How many times did I go to the bathroom? Bleeped if I know. I know I did, but I only remember the times where that was like weird. Like I can vaguely remember worrying about going down the drain when I was little. Anyone else had that when you were a little kid, and you were in the bath, and you were afraid that you would go down the drain, even though your mom or dad, they told you you're not going to go. They knew. They said you're not going to go down that drain. They tried to show you with toys or whatever. I don't know. But you still had that fear because the water was going down. So why wouldn't I go down with it? I mean, I'm scared. I don't understand. I don't comprehend fully how things work. And so I remember it kind of, sort of, vaguely, because it was something to remember. It was some event that was different from the other times I took a bath or shower or whatever. That was the first time that's significant enough for me to remember. I don't remember all the different times of driving or being driven somewhere, but I do remember this one thing where my mom and she was driving me to school, I think. I'm not even sure. I know we were on the road going somewhere from the house, we lived in a trailer park, to the Brentwood is where it was. Brentwood, very far away from us, but also Concord, which was the other way, was also very far from us. I think we were going to my school. I don't know where we were going. I just remember that we were driving. And suddenly there's this ginormous tumbleweed in the road. Like, it's as big as a car. And Mom screamed. I screamed. There was no ice cream in sight. She slammed on the brake. And we're going, ah! And it's tumbleweed. We would have, even if we'd hit it, nothing would have happened. It would have just rolled over us or gotten, yeeted off. But it was an unexpected event. And then she's laughing, I'm laughing. She starts driving, the thing blows away, whatever. And probably my imagination is bigger than it was in reality. I don't know how perfect my memory is. Probably not very, but it's good enough. And I remember that. Why? Because it was a thing that was different from all the other times that we drove. I remember that it was scary, and then it was funny, and it's a story. The story of, hey, we got in the car, we went to town, and nothing happened, that's not even a fucking story. We don't remember that. We remember the parts that are interesting. We don't remember the parts that are boring. And you can experience it. You go somewhere. Oh, am I there yet? But on the way back, you're like, whoo, you're there. You're home already. Like, wow, that was really fast. Because your brain's just like, I know this stuff, so now I don't have to process it. And so your brain just kind of goes, you're done. Fast forward mode. I don't know. I'm like, and I talked to my brain. It was really weird. I was like, hey, I'm driving, hour-long drive. And I'm like, hey, brain, we've done this before. Can we just fast forward like we do on the way back? And my brain's like, nope. And my brain didn't actually say no, but I was like pretending like my brain could talk to me. But I am me. I am my brain. But in my head, I'm like talking to myself. I don't know. Anyways, I'm like, hey, look, can't I just know that I can fast forward through this? Nope. All right, fine. And on the way back, I'm like, damn it, brain, you're doing it now. Why couldn't you do now you're fast forwarding. Why didn't you do that before? Brain's just like, I don't know. That's how brain be. Brain don't know how to do stuff that it does. You can't make brain do certain things you want brain to do. But at least, to some degree, how brain works is a thing we can understand. You know what we can understand? Fucking God. Wrapped it back to that. Got back to it. Took a while. Had to get back to it. Had to get a little bit sidetracked to get back on track. In fact, if I went off track, then that's the only way I can get on track again. Because if I'm not off track, I never am not on track. I'm just always on track. Anyways. God doesn't make any sense. That's my preaching. That's my mission today. That is my sermon. And you all say, Lobster-ooya, because why not? Lobsters, whatever. Why not? You know, whatever. Cats, Bigfoot, dogs, whatever it is. I don't know. Just, yeah, shout out random words, you know? I don't know. Just, why not? Have some fun in the absurdity of reality. Reality without God, does that make sense? We don't, like, I guess the scientists, you know, they're working on this. They're trying to figure it out. They're smarter than me, you know, or at least they've studied stuff, so now they're in a position that I'm not in. Maybe I'm as smart as them and just didn't apply myself. I don't know. But regardless, they're working on this, trying to figure it out. And I'm like, yeah, well, okay, yeah, that does make sense that that's how it is. But then I go, yeah, but why it like that? How? Why? How, like, why do atoms do that? Like, you know, the nucleus and the proton and electrons, they all fly around each other. Why? How? Well, you know, there's like, I don't know, electricity and, I don't know, why do they do that, though? Well, there isn't a why. There's a how. Okay, fine. How they do that? Okay, here's the explanation. Some math that I can't fucking understand. Okay, cool. So we understand that. Or, well, you understand that, and I don't know what the hell you said, but okay, sure. You said words. It looks right to me. I don't know. But why do that? And they're like, well, because that's just how it is. But why it like that? It could be different, right? No, we don't. Well, maybe. We don't know. This is the way it is. We can only tell you that. We can't tell you how it could be. We know how it is. Yeah, but like, I don't know. What if we put an electron over there? That doesn't really do anything. Why? Because that's not how it works. You need another proton and neutron for it to matter. But why is that a thing? Because that's just how it works. But why? Don't stop. You don't know. It just is. Why carbon like that? Carbon is like the slut of all the elements that like has four things it connects. It just wants to connect to other elements. It's a big old slut. Other elements, they're more stingy. They only have one, and they don't want anyone to touch them. So it's really hard to bond with them. It's really hard to make stuff. You have to really force them into it. That doesn't sound good. But elements don't think, at least, well, we don't think that they think, but maybe they do. What if they do? What if they do think? What if they have some awareness? How do we know? We can't just say they don't, can we? Well, they don't have the awareness that we do, but we don't know that either. Well, why don't we know that? Well, we kind of know how our awareness works, and they're not a brain, so we can at least say they're not like us. Okay, but could they have an awareness? Maybe. But we'd have to have proof that that's a thing. Why? Because we like proof. Why? Because without proof, you can just make up shit that don't make sense. But this stuff doesn't make sense. Well, but it makes more sense than the other stuff that we definitely made up that doesn't make any damn sense. Because the God thing definitely is made up. How do we know? Well, because people make up shit about God all the time. And God doesn't stop them. God lets them say whatever they want about God. God doesn't exist. I am God. He is God. She is God. They were God, and now they're dead. But they're coming back again to save humanity any day now. I like the God of the lobsters. He only cares about lobsters. Doesn't care about us humans. Written about in the Lobsterist. I've promoted it. No one's refuted it. No one's even tried to make a video to debunk lobsterism. One day somebody will, and that will be a day that I enjoy, but maybe nobody else will. I don't know. I don't know how many people care about this silly book called The Lobsterist. I know I mention it. I know I talk about it. I know I care about it, that I think it's funny. Some people accuse me of writing it, but I'm like, I'm not that smart. Why would I write it? Yeah, also I gotta kind of admit that I did, but also I don't admit to anything. I mean, Could be. Maybe it was lobsters that wrote it. I don't know. I'm not saying I didn't write it, but I'm not saying I did. I totally did. I'm not admitting anything. But as far as I can tell, why not? God doesn't have to make sense. Maybe God is a lobster or a thing that looks like a lobster. It's not really a lobster. It just looks like one. And it only cares about the damn lobsters and not about us humans. But lobsters get caught and killed and eaten. Yeah, but the lobster God has a reason for all that shit too. And we can't understand it because God doesn't make sense. Yeah. That's God. It's whatever you want it, whatever you need it to be, whatever you can think, whatever you can imagine, God can be that thing. Because God is imaginary. Okay, but why are we here? How are we here? What happened to science? Science. Fucking science. Go science. Yeah, but I mean, well, then we just die and we're dead. Yeah, well, I don't know. Can't change reality, man. If that's how it be, then that's how it is. It sucks, but it's real. I can't do anything about that, okay? Pretending that it isn't won't make it what it is. Damn, it hurts. It hurts to know people that are gone because they're dead. I hate that. It bothers me. I don't like it because they're not here. And I want them here because I missed them and cared about them and loved them and want to talk to them again. Oh, I can talk to them, but they can't hear me because they're not here. Pretending that they're somewhere else. Hoping that they're somewhere else. That doesn't do me any good because I know it's just pretend. I know it's not really real. But I don't know for sure that they're not anywhere. But I kind of think, well, that's probably what it is. Because why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it suck? Why wouldn't reality just suck? You know? Because reality does tend to suck sometimes. Like the way reality really is kind of sucks. Now, there's good parts of reality. There's reality that we enjoy that we're like, I don't have a problem with that. But then there's all the other parts of reality where we're like, well, that just sucks. I don't like that. I don't want it to be that way. So what do? Well, we try to change it. And what are these clever scientists trying to do? Well, they're trying to change it. They're trying to make it so we don't die. We stop aging. Let's say we're successful. We don't age anymore. There's still ways you could die. There's all sorts of ways you could die. So we figure out, I don't know what we figure out. I don't know, deflector shields. I don't know. So nobody can shoot you. You know, some car hits you, it just bounces off, or you bounce off it, or whatever. You can't get hurt anymore, is what I'm saying. You're immortal. You are immortal. Now what? Well, the sun. The sun's going to come and eat the earth. Shit. Okay, well, we got to get to space. We got to start seeding the planets. We got to find a new sun. Okay, but that one's going to wear out too. Okay, how do we build a sun? Let's figure that out. Maybe we could do it. I don't know. Why not? Let's say we did. The universe is running out of stuff. We'll suck all the stuff into one spot. That's what we'll do. Giant vacuum. Well, space is a vacuum. Shut up. No, this is a different vacuum. Listen, I don't know how it's done. We're just going to do it, okay? We pull it all together to one spot. Sounding familiar? You know, we got this. We got this. Quiet, you. No, guys, I don't know that this is quiet. We're almost there. We're going to make another universe here. Yeah, but what about us? Well, we're going to go into the new universe. Are we sure that that's going to happen? Well, you know, 80%. 80% sure? I mean, maybe like, we said 99 to the government, but it's like 50. 50%? Well, I mean, actually, we don't know. We don't know. Yeah, we just really hope that it's going to work. We don't even know it's going to make another universe. No, we don't. We think it does, but we don't know. Fuck! This sucks! Yeah, but it's the best we can do. And imagine that you have existed for the trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of years which you can't even possibly conceive of, but somehow your brain doesn't degrade because, again, we fixed that problem. And your memory is, it's sort of like what we have, but it's better. But also we need to be able to offload our memory from time to time because otherwise our heads would be too full of stuff. So we have a lot of memories on like flash drives or something similar, and we have that backed up somehow. I don't know. Doesn't matter. We're in pretend zone, okay? And we make the damn universe. We make a new universe. And somehow we manage to go to that next universe and ride the waves of that. And we just keep going. We just keep going and going and going forever and ever and ever until you're sick of it. Until you've done everything that there is to do, things that you want to do, things you don't want to do just because you haven't done them. I've never eaten poo. I'm going to do that. I've never eaten my throw up. Oh, man. Deconverted man, please. I'm trying to eat. Sorry, I should have warned you, but I didn't know you were trying to eat when I decided to say that thing. Oh, well, now you have to picture yourself eating shit and puke. That's a thing now. Good luck with that. Not my problem. It's a you problem. Just because I brought it up. Don't think of pink elephants. Oh, no. All right, I'll undo it. You get to eat a pile of toothbrush. I don't know. What? That doesn't make any sense. Whatever the thing is, I don't know what you want to eat. Ice cream? Not everybody likes ice cream, though. Chocolate ice cream? Oh, that doesn't do any good because it still looks the same. Vanilla? I don't know. How about a cake? Everybody loves cake, right? How about an apple pie? There we go, apple pie. Unless you're allergic to apples and it's some other kind of... What if we don't like pie? I don't know. Eat whatever it is you want to eat in your head, okay? You're not really eating it. You're just eating it in your head. But I can't think of the thing that you want to eat because I don't know you. So, again, not a me problem, all right? Yeah, sure, I said the thing that made you think of the thing, but still, I'm not taking accountability because I don't feel like it. It's funnier to me. It might not be funny to you, though. Maybe it's a little bit. I don't know. I don't make sense. Well, but I kind of make sense. I make more sense than God. That's for sure. All right, so anyways, so we exist for so damn long that we do everything that there is to do, including the things that we don't want to do, just so that we've done them. We've listened to every song, watched every movie and TV show. We've watched every stage play. We've been skiing. We've parachuted, we've bungee jumped, we've, you name it, you've done it. You've had sex with everyone, because why not? Like, literally everyone that there, and every animal, because we made that safe too, science, thanks to you. Yeah, we've done literally everything, and you're like, okay, at this point, why should I keep existing? Other than I'm used to it. And we've made it really cool. I mean, we've made it there's no more pain. We've created the heaven that we've wanted. Man, I'm bored, though. Somebody's got to invent a new video game because I've played all the video games. But we can't because all the video games that can be created, we've created. There's no more things to make. We've done it all. We've read it all. We've seen it all. We've just existed so damn long that literally there's nothing more to do because we've run out of stuff to make and do and figure out. We know everything now. We are God. We can't die. Well, we can die, but we have to do this like whole thing to die. It's really complicated. But we can die. But we know that's it because we know all of science. We know how reality works. And fuck, we've made the universe we're now in, by the way. We are effectively God. Would we make creatures like us, but way back when we didn't understand diddly squat just so we can watch them? Because we're so bored out of our minds that we just need some entertainment. What are they going to do? They don't know what fire is. This is funny. That guy just died from a rock. And maybe we get some sick enjoyment out of it. But you say, well, yeah, and at that point you're an immoral being. Yeah, but you've done... No, look, you don't understand. We've done everything else. We've done everything else except for torture people. We haven't done that. Okay, yeah, you see it as bad, but we don't. We think it's funny. At one point in my life, I did think that was wrong, but that was before I spent trillions of years doing everything else. You don't understand me because you're not God. I'm God now. I made this universe, and I made the creatures in it, and what I do to you is pure amusement to me. I'm going to mess with you guys. Let's send one dude to tell him about us. This should be funny. Hey, Joe. Hey, how's it going, Decouverted Man? Actually, that's not my name anymore. My name is Dan. I don't know what the hell my name is in this pretend scenario. Whatever. Hey, I've got a bet. Let's make a bet. Okay. I bet you I could get more followers with my made-up god than you can make with your made-up god. Oh, it's Don. How much we gonna wager? A penny. A penny? What's that even? Oh, remember that penny? Oh, yeah. Didn't Trump kill those? Yeah, he did. All right. That was a good move, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. But now we reinvented pennies because it was a thing to do. Oh, yeah, I remember we did that. Anyways, what were you talking about? We're betting. Oh, right, we're betting. $1. $1's better. Let's do $1. They did that in that one movie, whatever. Trading Places, was it? Yeah. Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy. Yeah, okay. $1. All right, sure. $1 doesn't mean anything, but we need something to bet. All right. I'm going to send my messenger. You send yours. Look at the humans. They believe this bullshit we're telling them. It's great. This is good entertainment. And for the next thousands of years, we watch humans as they start to fuck up our messages. And I'm like, technically, I'm still winning. I got more followers than you. Yeah, that's all right. My followers, they'll make a comeback. Uh-oh, your followers were just wiped out by mine. All right, fine. You win this round. Here's $1. But I'm going to make a whole new group of followers. Oh, yeah, let's do it again. And we're fine with this because we're God now. But are we good? No. We're not good. Are we evil? Not really, but we're not good. We're kind of just big jerks watching you guys suffer and die for our own personal amusement, but we're not good. And that's what God is. God isn't good. At best, we're celestial amusement because God is bored. What if that's how it is? Well, fuck. That sucks. But doesn't that mean that those gods, wouldn't that make this universe that's going to lead to that eventual outcome the first try? Or is it that eventually successful universes produce beings that make another universe and become their own gods? Don't know. Don't worry about it. We're God in this scenario. We don't have to make sense anymore. Is that going to happen? I don't know. I don't know. I think us humans will kill each other off long before that happens. We're kind of dumb, collectively speaking. Maybe. I don't know. It'd be cool if we could get to the point where we could create stuff like us, but hopefully we're not going to forget our humanity and say it's cool that we see stuff suffer. Hopefully we're not going to become amoral monsters, because that wouldn't make sense. All right, that's it. I'm done with my preaching now. It's time to turn to chat, sit down, see what happened while I was saying all that. Let's see. Holy shit, I missed out on a lot of chat while I was doing my sermon. Tongolo! How the hell is he here? Didn't I ban him? No, I don't think I did. No, I didn't ban him. I like him. He's an interesting guy. He's wrong about everything, but he's interesting. If God makes no sense, provide an alternative that does. Oh, I did. I laid it out. Blaster Master. Oh, look. Oh, wait, I should put this on screen. Oh, look, another Christian in hand is burden of proof wants to make an argument for universe. Yeah, well, what do you expect from morons? That stupid Shroud of Tron. That fucking thing. Yeah, the Shroud of Tron's made its way back into somewhat popularness, I guess. I don't know. People have been kind of talking about it here and there. I've seen it pop up in discussions, and maybe it's time to do a video on it again, I guess. It's so dumb though. It's been debunked, you know. But the Catholic Church, they've got a hold of the damn thing, so we can't test it anymore. Isn't that weird? Yeah, that's really convenient. Uh, do you think that it's metaphors to teach you how to live your life? What, the Bible? The Bible has metaphors. Lots of books have metaphors, though. Lots of poetry has metaphors. You know, William Blake's The Tiger. Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forests of the night. What to mortal hand or eye dare frame thy fearful symmetry? Beautiful imagery. Oh, man, lots of metaphor. What the hell is he talking about? I don't know. Whatever you want, you know. Yeah, it could be that, sure. But then it's just that. It's just metaphor. It's not really real. But also, couldn't you just teach me about life by, you know, just teaching me about life? Why use a metaphor at all? Why not just tell me, you know? Why all the extra steps? Anyways, metaphor, like how to treat slaves, you stone unruly kids, kill people who work on the Sabbath. Yeah, that's all metaphors. Yeah, those 613 commandments, many of which end in stoning to death. Metaphor somehow. Or that's how we're supposed to live. I don't know. God doesn't make sense. Let's see. Look at the trees. Yeah. Crisp. Singing Yahweh. Oh, way, way, oh, way, way. Okay, cool. Fentonomics says, Oi! Didn't know you were French. Atheists also have the burden of proof. No. Not really. Depends what they say. Depends how you say it. I say Yahweh doesn't exist. I'm happy to say that. I'll say that all day, and I'll prove it to you. It's not hard. But you'll never accept the proof that I offer, because it's not actually proof. What I could do is argue for it. I can't prove it, because you just can't with a universal negative. It can't be done. But I can give you a logical argument that should convince you, but it won't convince you because you're dedicated to the belief that Yahweh does exist. So if you were able and or willing to change your mind on Yahweh, then my argument might maybe convince you that Yahweh doesn't exist. But because you're dedicated to your belief and you've spent a lot of time and energy, I know I'm like the only other active member on your forums. I know there's other people that signed up besides me, but like they only like posted maybe once or twice at best, so they don't count in my break. We're the only two active members of your forum. Okay, let's just admit that. And I've seen how much energy you've put into it, Autangelo, and you know that's a sunk cost you've got. So the problem is, your brain doesn't want you to be wrong about God. And not only God, but reality as well, because you also deny like all of science, it seems like you're anti-evolution, I think you're a young earth creationist, I don't remember offhand. But you don't like evolution, you don't understand it, and you deny it's a thing with really wacky, bad, broken arguments that don't work, that are unscientific, because you believe those things are also part of your God, and that you believe God has to be a certain way. And all of this you've sunk so much time, energy, and maybe money into, that it's going to be really hard for your brain to accept that you were wrong about all of it. And my goal isn't to convince you that you're wrong. My goal is just to preach the good word of logic and reason, which is at the very least, I would love for Etangelo to learn informal logic. I don't think he has. In fact, I've asked you a couple times on your forums, have you learned informal logic? And you never give me a straight up answer. Because I think the answer is no. That's my conclusion, is you haven't. I don't think you've read a single informal logic book. And it's not because they're not available. I know there's available online free. You can read the entire PDF for free of several different informal logic books. There's free classes you can take. I'll help you as much as I can to learn informal logic, but you just don't do it. And I got to conclude that because maybe you're scared that learning it will make you not believe, you might still believe in God, but just maybe you have to change the idea of God that you believe in. And if God is a relationship, you can learn stuff about people. People you've been with for years. Blaster Master happened to know that he's married. Okay. I'm sure that his wife is way too good for him, but that's fine. He knows that too, and he worships his wife as all men should. But not just messing with Blaster. I don't know anything, but as long as he's been with his wife, he could discover something new about her tomorrow or today that he didn't know before. And he'd be like, damn, I didn't know that. Oh my God. And it might be something really small, or it might be huge. It might rock his world. Yeah, and then things fall off the damn thing because of gravity. You stupid ghost, stop knocking off stuff. Take that stuff downstairs and throw it away. Now the ghost just likes knocking off stuff from my trash. Anyways, but he could discover something new about his wife because it's a living, breathing relationship. So if God is real, Atangelo, couldn't it be that you're just wrong about how God is and that God used biological evolution and that you're just wrong about biological evolution and that you're wrong about God in that sense? But there's still a God. It's just you learn something new about God by discovering the real way that God really did stuff. Couldn't that be possible? I think it is. And I think that if there is a God, it had to use biological evolution because biological evolution is absolutely true. And the only reason you don't believe it is because you think that God is a certain way, but you're stuck with your belief of God and not willing to have a real relationship with a real God if there was a real God. Because most certainly, for God to be real, it has to align with reality. You believe in a God that 1 + 1 is 1,000,000,000, and you insist that that makes sense despite all the mathematicians in the world saying to the contrary, except for the handful of mathematicians that failed and became creationist mathematicians to support the wrong sort of God that you also believe in. I would encourage you, Antangelo, to believe in a more true God that aligns with biological evolution and the age of the earth and the age of the universe and doesn't deny science and learn informal logic, and you will learn something new about your God and discard these beliefs that are contrary to reality and keep your God belief. That's fine. That doesn't bother me. But Otangelo, I know you won't do that. Or at least I'm pretty sure you won't. I hope that I'm wrong, though. Please prove me wrong by learning informal logic and learning real science. And maybe on your forum, the next giant post I'll see from you is how Deconverted Man convinced me to do this, and I set on my journey. And I won't see that post for a few years because it should take you a while to learn all this stuff. But I will see it eventually because eventually you'll actually try to learn something new rather than reconfirm your beliefs you currently hold. But you'll still believe in God at the end. You won't be an atheist. You'll still believe in God. It's just going to be a different God than you currently believe in. But I don't think you'll take that journey. Prove me wrong. All right. What else? Anything I need to respond to? Crisps. Here come the Christians. Maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Anything else besides people having their own talks that I need to respond to? Not really. Oh, you guys are having fun. That's good. Oh my God, look at all this. Now, I don't know. Now, see, Crisp is, I don't know. Crisp is new to my chat area. I don't know if Crisp is a Christian, Muslim, God believer. I don't know what he is. I have no idea. So Crisp, I would love for you in the comments section of this video to post what you believe in, like as far as God goes, or maybe you don't believe in God. I don't know. What do you believe? What do you think? What's the true nature of reality? Like, I don't know. Explain to me like what your position is, because I don't really know what it is and I want to understand it. And I think other people do as well. So Captive Desk. All right. What else? I think I caught up. Yeah. All right. So yeah, I got up to chat. I got caught up to the latest in chat, and I responded to those who I felt like responding to. Thank you for listening. Thank you for posting in chat. That doesn't count for YouTube. I have to do this. I hate doing this. Post a thing on the video so that YouTube will like promote my stuff so that Christians and other people can hear my stuff, and maybe they'll come to use reason and logic. They might still believe in God, and I'm okay with that. I really am. I'm fine with that. It's just I want them to admit that God is makes no sense. If they could do that, if they could just say God is faith, I'd be like, okay, cool, all right. And if they would stop denying science, that'd be great. Anyways. And also don't tell people that they're doing bad stuff in their own lives because that's none of your business, okay? Let them be, let them live. If God's going to judge them, then let God judge them. But you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to judge others. And it's amazing how many Christians miss that part of the message. All right. Well, that's my preaching for this day. Hopefully, it got you to laugh or made you think of something that you've never thought of before or whatever. Let me know in the comments, and I'll interact with you in email or chat or whatever. And thanks for being you. And keep on keeping on and do good, get money. And well, I guess until next time, be skeptical. And after that, stay skeptical. Good. Oh, agnostic. Oh, okay. Good day. Until then. Until later. I don't know. Whatever. I'm done now. Where's the fan? Finn. Oh, wait. I gotta show the guy. Hold on. What's the guy? Fucking. What the fuck is the thing? Fuck. Heaven's Gate. The guy. What's his leader? Yeah, there he is. No, show me the bald image of him. Don't show me the image where he looks normal. Yeah, there we go. Here he is. He didn't always look crazy. This guy. Yeah, this idiot. Marshall Applewhite. Fucking. He looks. Look at him. He looks insane. He looks crazy. He does. Why would anyone listen to this idiot? But imagine if God's like, yeah, I'm going to use that guy to deliver my message to humanity. Sure, why not? Oh, man. What a crazy guy this is. Anyways. All right. Until next time. Yeah. I already said that.